So usually when we do our versus videos, it's two flagships from different companies. We'll bash them screen to screen and declare a winner. But sometimes a certain manufacturer from Korea, whose name rhymes with Samsung, releases two flagship phones a few months apart, muddying the waters about which phone to actually get. Thus is the case with the Galaxy S8 Plus and the Galaxy Note 8. Is the difference more than just a pen? I'm gonna try to answer that question for you guys, help you decide which phone you should get. Should you upgrade if you already have a Galaxy S8 Plus? Or why would you want to pick up a Galaxy Note 8? So looking at these phones, they share a lot in common. Just looking straight down, they look almost identical. They've got the same Samsung design language with the infinity display, the same pressure-sensitive home button, slightly different software experiences which Samsung used to call TouchWiz. It's now Samsung User Experience. But for the most part, these phones appear to be the same. But there's a lot more inside of these phones that make them different. Let's start with the screen. So the screen on the Galaxy S8 and the S8 Plus, it looks pretty baller. The screen is gorgeous, it's Super AMOLED technology, it's a QHD screen, but, and this is something I didn't realize until I tried the Note 8, it doesn't get that bright until you compare it with the latest from Samsung. So the Galaxy Note 8 actually gets 22% brighter than the Galaxy S8 Plus. In case you want to get technical, it's 1200 nits versus 1000 nits. Just by random comparison, if you want to know, iPhone 7 at 625 nits. So that 22% makes a gigantic difference when you are outdoors. If you have adaptive brightness on, take out your phone in direct sunlight in the middle of the day, you can see it much better on the Note 8 than you can on the Galaxy S8 Plus. And this is sort of a thing of, you don't know it until you see it, or you don't know what you don't know. Because I always thought the S8 Plus screen looked awesome. And then I looked at the Note 8 screen, I was like, damn, that looks so much better. So if you thought things looked a little washed out on the Galaxy S8 or use your phone outdoors a lot, that is a big ass reason to consider the Galaxy Note 8. So yet again, another case of, I didn't realize it could be much better until you see something that's much better. The cameras on both phones. I used the Galaxy S8 and the S8 Plus for months, and I loved the camera in those phones. And I still love the cameras, they're still really good. They're some of the best on the market. Then I started using the camera on the Note 8. The pictures that come out of the Galaxy Note 8 look insane. Perhaps it's because both sensors have optical image stabilization built in. Perhaps it's psychosemetic, but the pictures look really good. The Galaxy Note 8 also adds a very Apple-esque portrait mode where you can blur the background of an image. You can even do it after you already took the picture. If you go to the Samsung Gallery app and open up that photo, you can adjust how much background blur you want. It works really well with kind of minimal artifacting around the actual focal point of your image. And also it's gonna snap two separate pictures. You've got your wide angle shot and your normal shot. So in case you wanna see what was in the periphery of that image, you can do that on the Note 8. You can't do that on the S8 Plus. Battery, at least on paper, I think would be a big reason to give a nod to the Galaxy S8 Plus. With sheer numbers, it's 3,500 versus 3,300 in the Galaxy Note 8. And it was very clear that Samsung was, let's say, gun shy from recalls of the Note 7, so they went with a smaller battery. But this is where software tends to matter. This is running the Samsung Software Experience 8.5 versus 8.0 on the Galaxy S8 Plus, at least as of this filming. And due to optimizations with software, I'm still getting almost the same, about 11 hours of battery life that I got on the S8 Plus. Now that's on time. So when I plug my phone at the end of the day with almost exactly the same amount of usage, generally around 20 to 25%, and that was true with both phones. So despite having a smaller battery, I still got the same amount of usage on it. So it's kind of a tie there, and I guess that tie is kind of a win for the Note, since it's got smaller milliamp hours. Performance, or at least perceived performance, is another reason to consider the Galaxy Note 8. It's rocking 6 gigs of RAM versus 4 on the S8 Plus. And before you yell at me in the comments, I know there are versions that have 6 gigs of RAM, but the one most people have is 4. So 50% RAM made the phone seem faster to me. It might have been, again, psychosemetic. I ran benchmarks and all like Geekbench scores, and yes, it does come across as faster, but real-world usage is what we're talking about here. And it does seem pretty good. I think where that's going to matter, the extra RAM, is future-proofing. So all these things, we're talking about battery, screen, performance. I haven't even talked about the S Pen yet, and that's why a lot of people at least consider wanting to get the Galaxy Note 8. That's sort of the big flagship feature about it. And yes, it's here. No, you can't put it in backwards. And it's also IP68. And it's actually one of the least reasons for me to pick up the Note. I really like having it. It's nice, but I don't use it all that often. I find myself kind of making up reasons to use it. If you're the kind of person that relies on a stylus and a screen, then yeah, you already know you want the Note. But for me, it was more icing on a cake instead of the actual cake itself. So I mentioned at the beginning of the video, these phones look identical, but they don't feel identical. The Note is 12% heavier than the Galaxy S8 Plus, and that matters. The phone is overall thicker, it's wider, it doesn't have that same sort of beautiful design and feel, at least, that you get with the Galaxy S8 Plus, at least when you hold the phone in your hand. Just looking at them screen down, they do look very similar. So if you thought maybe the S8 Plus was a little big for your hand, definitely try the Note 8 in store first before you decide to pick one up. On the S8 Plus side, I think this is the best feeling and best looking phone on the market. I think it's incredible how Samsung blended the infinity display, the thinness of the device. It feels incredible in the hand. This still remains the best feeling device that I have ever used. So last but definitely not least, it's price. So there are a ton of sales and Samsung runs trade-in deals and Best Buy's got deals and carriers have deals, but generally speaking, they're about $300 separating these two phones. I don't know if you're getting $300 more worth of value. If any of the features I mentioned are must-haves for you, or sort of all those different parts make a whole that's worth spending about $950, then you're going to love the Galaxy Note 8. You're gonna get the best camera, the best software that Samsung has to offer. If you decide that $300 is not worth it for you, you are still getting an incredible phone, a phone that as of like a month ago would have been the best phone on the market, but is still a really good phone and will still be a really good phone for the next year or longer. So here's what the moral boils down to. If you have a Galaxy S8 or S8 Plus, look longingly at the Note 8, be jelly of your friends that maybe bought one, but it is not worth spending the money for the upgrade. If you're coming from a previous gen Note that hasn't been recalled, so a Note 5, a Note 4, or an older Galaxy S device, so an S7, S7 Edge, or older, by all means, get the Note 8. You're going to love it, notice the differences and improvements immediately. So before I end the verses, I want to thank the awesome folks at Macworld for making this video possible. Ralph and Mark, who are off camera, tell me I wear too many Rams gears and that I need more casual clothes. So actually, I legitimately use the stuff at Macworld, and I'm wearing a Macworld shirt right now. It looks nice, it's comfortable. It's also, probably most importantly, antimicrobial. So if you go to the gym or you're just a sweaty dude like me, it's not gonna grow stuff when you leave it in like a hot car. It's not gonna smell when you get back to it. It's comfortable, it's kind of stretchy. They've got shirts, undershirts, hoodies, socks, underwear, anything you need. Their website's super easy to use. The stuff comes really quickly and it's high quality, I think most importantly. They give you 20% off if you decide to pick something up, and I recommend it. I'm a big fan of their navy blue, obviously looks nice against our white seamless. Use coupon code TechnoBuffalo and they'll give you 20% off. I hope you guys check them out. So what do you guys think? S8 Plus or Galaxy Note 8? Which one did you buy and why? And I guess the big question is, are you going to upgrade from the S8 Plus to the Note 8? Are you going to heed my warning? You're gonna throw caution in $1,000 to the wind and say, give me my stylus? I want to know why. Leave in the comments down below. And if we like your answer, we'll pin it to the top. And then everybody can see you. You can become famous and your mom will be proud of you. Until next time, John Ranger from TechnoBuffalo. You guys say I do this a lot. I guess I do. Phones.